Last word on the budget, let's go to Chief Political Correspondent Mark Simkin. Well, last night you described it as lean but not mean. There was no real sting in the tail this year, was there?
Well, there were $22 billion worth of stings, I suppose. That's the cuts, but there were also $19 billion worth of band-aids in terms of spending. So, like any budget, there were winners and losers, and for many people in this budget, people were both a winner and a loser. So, if you look at one of the biggest saves, $2 billion from the family tax benefit, but that only applies to families earning more than $150,000, and it's not an actual cut to current benefits. It's a freeze on inflation-linked increases, and there are some offsets for people, for example, with older teenage children. They'll get an increase in their family tax benefits. So it's a little bit confused and difficult to actually pinpoint exactly how every one person is doing, and that's why you've got this bizarre debate the morning after. Is it as tough as teak, this budget, or is it as tough as tofu? I mean, who really knows? Maybe it tastes like chicken. It's perhaps a little bland, but not unpalatable.
Well, a lot of the measures from last night were pre-released and sold hard by the government. Is that a new tactic the government's using, and did it work?
Yes and no. Leaks before a budget are nothing new, but of course what was different this time is they weren't so much as leaks as total announcements where they were confirmed, and ministers or the Prime Minister would have a picture opportunity to announce what's coming up in the budget. Even the unemployment forecast was announced a week before. So the expectations management worked to a degree, and it certainly meant that some of the handouts that would be lost on budget night, like more money for former prisoners of war, for example, got some airtime. The bigger question, though, from this budget, which we don't know the answer to just yet, is not about specific items, but whether it creates a broader narrative about what a Gillard government stands for.
Well, will the government have much trouble getting this budget through Parliament?
Certainly government sources say this budget was crafted with one eye very definitely on getting it through Parliament. It's impossible to say for sure, though. The opposition is saying it's too tough. This budget is not tough enough, but some items are too tough, like the family tax benefit changes. But it hasn't said whether it's actually going to block individual measures. The Greens have said there are some things they don't like, but they're talking amendments rather than blocking. So at this stage, government sources are confident of getting the budget through the Parliament unscathed, but we won't know for sure, perhaps until tomorrow night when Tony Abbott gives his budget reply.
Mark Simkin, thank you.
Thank you.